Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Veronica?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Hey, first of all, thank you for today's episode, being
Oh,
a guest of our episode today at Making
my
House Calls.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
First of all, I just want to know, let our viewers know that I knew about Veronica through Facebook. So
Perfect.
yeah, so that's a power of social media.
Yeah, that's awesome. At least my social game is working, I guess.
Yeah, through a mutual friend on Facebook.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love to hear that.
Now, just to give a brief backgrounder of Veronica, from what I've learned from you so far, from a very short in this very short time, was that you're an educator,
That's right.
and currently you have from being an educator, you have brought your other skills, other talents to fore by self-educating yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's true. I've done many things for a career, but all of them surround kids, and I've always had a great devotion toward making content and educational activities for children. And so I kind of combined my forces and with illustration and education and started authoring and illustrating children's books around 219.
I'm curious about the illustrating part because I have a little bit of a background to that as far as being a designer myself. But I'm curious, the illustrating part, was that something that you just discovered later on, or you have already have kind of developing it?
So, it's a funny story, but along my path, I am the oldest of 16 grandchildren. And I've always loved to draw and art, painting, all of it. And so early on, I started drawing for them and making them, hey, what do you want me to draw a picture of so you can color it? And so
Hmm.
I would draw all kinds of things for those kids. And then I ended up doing the same thing as a preschool teacher and then as a classroom educator. I just integrated art with kids forever, it seems anyway. So it seemed very natural for me to take that and my work and as an educator and put it all together for great children's stories. I literally have a personal library of over 1,000 children's books. So, literacy and reading for kids has always been a really huge focus for me in my life all along.
Can you still remember your first project as far as children's book or any book for that matter?
So I wrote my first children's book in 2019, and the title is Play. And I am still marketing that book today. It's all about the importance of children playing and pretend
Mhm.
play. And it has a secondary purpose of careers and career learning. Children who or teachers who have developmental kindergartens use it in their career center when they talk about careers and people in their neighborhood. So that was my first children's book project, and from there I've gone on to illustrate more than 11 books now. So I've been quite busy since 2019, and I love being busy. So I look forward to keeping that going.
So when you get onto a project that you want to start, what really motivates you into doing it?
So I won't take a project that I don't love. And so all of the books that I've done have been very strong in their message and what they want to convey for kids and being a positive message or an educational message. I've done books that talk about adoption. Done books that talk about physical therapy and speech therapy. I've done books about the death of a loved one. So all of the books that I've illustrated so far, I feel very strongly about being a good message for parents, teachers, and kids, some way to help them in life.
Are these mostly children's books?
All children's books. I've done the artwork for two adult books, if you will. They are devotionals, and they are on sale on Amazon. But I've just done the cover work and some inside illustrations for those and formatting as well. But predominantly I work in children's books. That's where I'm happiest.
Now, just a question on especially on the design and the graphic side. Do you where do you start? Do you start with a sketch, then translate it into digital format?
So not really. Now everything is, unless there's a specific need that the author wants hand drawn work.
Hmm.
And even hand drawn work or hand painted work needs to get digitized eventually, right? Because everything now is printed through files on the computer. So every printer will want a digital file. So basically, everything is drawn on the computer using, design software. And then when I format, I like the Affinity suites. So I prefer using those. They're
Hmm.
really they're great for formatting books. So they have a lot of options that I just love as an illustrator as well. So
Now you have a big event
I do.
that's happening actually tomorrow.
I know, how exciting, right?
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
have been working so very hard to become an author that does a reading at Barnes and Noble, and
Uh-huh.
our local Barnes and Noble on Valencia Boulevard has invited me to come and do a reading. And just in time for Halloween, I couldn't be more excited. I have so many fun things going on for the kids. I'm going to teach them a little pumpkin finger play and song,
Hmm.
and I have some coloring pages for us. And for the first 10 kids that show up, they will be receiving a free plush toy. It's just a small little Halloween thing, but I really am so super excited to get out
Hmm.
there and meet the parents and the kids of the book they that love the book.
Now, is there a specific book that you're going to be presenting?
Yes, of course. I'm reading Scary Halloween Costumes tomorrow at 12. That book is such a fun book that I wrote. Actually debuted this book last year, but it released a little late in September. So this year I get to really enjoy getting out there with the crowds with this book. And I was inspired by the Peanuts characters.
Hmm.
So the older sister in this one, and you can see her, she's dressed as a witch. She's got it all together. She knows exactly what Halloween is all about. But her little brother Jack, well, he doesn't quite understand what scary means. So he basically goes through all the people in his life and what they're scared of,
Hmm.
and he tries to dress up as those things. Like, for example, his big sister Millie, well, she's scared of worms, so
Hmm.
he tries on a worm costume and looks terribly adorable in it. And she says, "No, Jack, that's not
Hmm.
scary." Then he dresses up as the washing machine because mom says the laundry room is a scary place.
Uh-huh.
And so you can see the theme of the story is just a really funny tale about what people might find scary. And then have no fear, Jack finally finds the perfect scary Halloween costume. And there's like a little Where's Waldo treat, because
Hmm.
behind him throughout the book is the little scarecrow. You can see it on the cover. And so at the very end, he's all defeated. He can't find the perfect costume. He plops himself down in the yard and he sits by the scarecrow. And then he gets the idea. So he undresses the scarecrow and
Hmm.
puts on the costume and scares Millie. And they have the perfect Halloween.
Man, I can just feel the emotion, the passion that you have in this book, Veronica. This is something that parents and kids shouldn't miss.
Oh, absolutely. I hope that there's a huge crowd tomorrow because I really want to share this book just in time for Halloween to get everybody super excited.
Mhm. What's the inspiration for this of this for this book? Is it a maybe a an experience in the past?
Well, okay, so it's kind of dual fold. So, first, as a kid, my parents, especially my mom, she was super excited about Halloween, and we had, like I said before, we have a huge family, so we'd have a huge family gathering, bobbing for apples and costume contests, and it was just so much fun. And so we would do it upright every Halloween, and so that was, it's Halloween has always been a good time for me. And then secondary is, and like I said before, I always want to have a good message or a teaching point or a launch point for parents and discussions. So this book is a great funny tale just on its own. But if parents and children are experiencing some childhood fears at home, like for example, on the front cover, Jack is dressed up as the dark, and so,
Mhm.
and he says inside the book, I'm scared of the dark. And that, so it's a launch point for parents to talk about some childhood fears and also, touch on the subject that everybody's scared of something,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
how do you get through all of that?
That's a very good lesson. Really, an important lesson that it's not just a color. It's not just a book, a children's book, but there's something that can be learned from
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, and I try to create all of my books with that same idea. So I also have two other books that I'm querying right now to publishers. One is called The Meanies,
Mhm.
and that one is all about how sometimes we can get really angry and act in inappropriate ways, and how do we get rid of the meanies? And so in that book, it's actually an imaginary monsters that live inside this little boy, or that's what he believes, that the meanies are making him act this way. And at the very end of the story, he realizes that maybe he can control the meanies and send them away for good. So that one is out, hopefully being courted by publishers now, I hope.
Mhm.
And then I have another one coming out that's called Absolutely Perfect. And that one has a theme of how, sometimes we feel like a lot of pressure to be absolutely perfect.
Mhm.
And sometimes people just love us for just the way we are. So,
Great.
yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's review your announcement for your the big event tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm super excited about being at the Barnes& and Noble on Valencia Boulevard tomorrow, at noon, and for the first 10 children that are there, they will get a small plush toy, and there will be lots of fun. I am signing the book, reading the book, and doing a little pumpkin song with all of the kids that are in attendance. Can't wait to see everybody.
All right. So again, Barnes and Noble, Valencia Boulevard, 23630 Valencia Boulevard, 12 noon until is there
And well, until 2.
until 2.
You know, I think that's a very long time to be spending entertaining. So I expect that if there's a large enough crowd, I'll probably be doing the whole thing a second time.
All right.
But we'll just see how it goes tomorrow. At 12 noon for sure, we're gonna be starting the whole event.
And just a quick preview. There's another event that's coming up the following week. Is that just
That's
Mhm.
true. And then next weekend, November 4th and 5th,
Mhm.
I will be at Saugus Boutique Fantastique, and I will be selling my book Play along with some fun toys that go along with it.
Hey, and I'd love to get you back for to make another announcement about the event.
Oh, I would love to do that. That would be fantastic.
All right, so there you go, guys. 23630 Valencia Boulevard, Barnes and Noble, tomorrow, 12 to 2. And you're going to have a special treat, a reading, signing book, and a plushie for the first 10 chil-
Children,
children.
yes, for
Yes.
the first
Okay.
10 children that are in attendance. And then I have coloring pages, and I'm going to be doing a song, teaching everybody a little song, fun for Halloween.
All right, there you go.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully I'd like to maybe try to catch you there.
Oh, I would love to meet you in person.
Yes,
That would be
please.
perfect.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
Veronica, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great
Yeah,
day.
you too.